We got a super thanks to begin today's mailbag from William Cook. Says Jerry won his Super Bowl this week, with the Cowboys being the most valuable sports franchise in the world. Winning the actual Super Bowl is secondary. Isn't that the problem? Doesn't it feel like somehow, some way, there's always something going on that's just, it's at times, it feels like the Cowboys are a marketing team that happens to also be a Super Bowl contender. Like, I would rather see the Cowboys try like hell to win games. Take advantage of the fact that you are the most valuable sports franchise. And they don't do that. Like, they don't actively try to win at all costs the way other teams do. That keeps them healthier 7 years from now. But who cares if you're not actually maximizing your window? You can be bad when you need to be bad. That's okay. The Cowboys do a great job of building a 9 to 10 win team every year. But that shouldn't be the goal, actually. As a reminder, every $5 super thanks or super chat gets you into our in-season, in-game raffles. So if you can't watch during the live shows, you still got ways to get entered. Plus, we'll do free giveaways during the game itself. Get your entries in with a $5 super thanks today. $10 from Jet Lag Warriors. That was actually 3 entries. This came in before the second preseason game, by the way. Says, my wife and I are driving our RV to every game this year, home and away. Let's go Cowboys. I hope you enjoy that, Jet Lag Warriors. That sounds fun. That sounds like a grand old time. Hopefully you enjoy it and everything else. I'm glad you're the financial ability to do that. I never will be probably, but hope you have fun. Hope the Cowboys actually win some games for you as well. How many Dallas Cowboys games have you been to? Let me know in the comment section of today's show. We'll make this the pinned comment, by the way. And I went to a bunch of them. I've been to one in Jerry World. And when I grew up in Cincinnati, every time the Cowboys came down against the Bengals, I'd go. Some good memories. A couple not good ones there, but mostly positive. So let me know at the pinned comment of today's show. How many Cowboys games have you been to? From Ecuador Man, what's worse, Mazi's get off or his getting pushed off the ball, or the equally both terrible? I think the answer in a way here is it's kind of the same. Mazi's get off not firing fast enough often leads to him getting pushed off the ball. That, when it's a pass rush play, the get off isn't there consistently enough, so he's not getting the penetration you want. And when he's slow getting off the snap in the run game, that's how he gets pushed back so far. So I think you're right. Like we saw it in the preseason game. Like he's often the last guy to fire off the ball. And there were several times he's 6 yards downfield. You can't have that from your nose guard. That's the exact opposite of what you want. When you're a little slow off the ball and then you kind of stand up and the lineman's already into you, that's how you're getting pushed off the ball so much. So it's kind of the same issue in the end. From Zach, what player-for-player swap would you take for Brian Robinson? I kind of feel like the Cowboys, from a value perspective, might actually be getting a little bit less back just because of how the position is regarded in the NFL. I do think something involving a Jalen Tolbert for Brian Robinson swap actually does make a bit of sense for both sides. The Commanders get some more stability on the outside at wide receiver amid the Terry McLaurin contract. I think that gets done, so maybe the Commanders aren't as interested in that. I think if you wanted to go get Brian Robinson, though, I do think you could get a late day 3 pick or even a pick swap for him. I don't think the value is particularly high right now. From Token Cowboys fan, what week does our cornerback room get healthy if there is a real timeline? I don't know if there's a real timeline for everyone getting healthy. Like they might kind of stash Josh Butler for a good portion of the season. I don't think Savone Revel is going to be healthy to start the season. I think he's going to miss at least the first 4 games. Diggs, week 1 or first 4, we'll see. I think let's check in again around the bye is the over-under. I also don't know if you're going to get 100% Revel what he can be in year 1. He's probably going to still need some ramp-up time he suffered a setback at camp. We can call it what it is. That's what happened. But I don't know when you get truly, truly healthy here. Now, today's show is made possible by Ethos. As a father of one kid and a second one on the way, trust me when I say life insurance matters. It's not fun to think about what would happen if something happened to you, but you do need to be prepared. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. Ethos is a trustworthy company that disrupts the traditional life insurance industry, and it's more affordable than you might think. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy to protect your family's future in minutes, not months. There is no complicated process, and it's 100% online. No medical exam is required. You just answer a few health questions and get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. 3 million families have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help find the right coverage. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. Link is in the comments section and the description of today's show. AJ, last name, a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, AJ. Says, where are all the clowns that wanted to replace Dak with Joe Milton? This is not uncommon. It's not even just true for the Cowboys. Like, if there's a quarterback you don't love, it's always the next guy's going to be the guy who's going to be so good and take the job from us, whatever. You know, it was Trey Lance, it was Cooper Rush, it was Ben DiNucci, which was always a fun meme, frankly. If you watch Joe Milton play at all really at Tennessee or in the preseason, which, you know, not many of us are Tennessee fans, I assume, and sure not many of you, if any, are Patriots fans. This is what we saw a lot of, the inconsistency. He has a howitzer. Where that ball is going to go is a question mark at times. He doesn't always see the field well. If you wanted to still develop him, not going to argue with that. But he's not there yet. He might never get there. He might just end up being, Logan Thomas all over again. But the traits are intriguing. He's just not a finished product yet. From Patriot King TTV, just got here, and you may have already gone over this. I'm sorry, but any new on the Micah contract? Why does Jerry Jones do this with every big deal? It's getting old. As of filming this on our live show Monday, there is literally nothing new. Adam Schefter continues to go on ESPN and say there's no new update, which somehow then gets put into there's an update on Micah. There isn't one. That's not really an update. There's no update because the Cowboys haven't called Micah such as his agent yet. Until they do that, Micah's camp has made it clear they're not going to try anymore. They will just let things play out. So we'll see when it changes. I wouldn't be shocked if it happens again in that Dak Prescott timeline, in a week or so. But it's dumb the Cowboys keep doing this. They keep finding different reasons, excuses, ways to get here. It has to stop. They're only hurting their own team in the end. From Daniel M., why do the Jones boys go after no-name players at meaningful positions when we need good players? Do they want us to think that they're smart and we are stupid? Honest take. I assume this is in reference to the signing of Michael Ojemudia on Monday. Look, this is not trying to fill their cornerback need. Like, that's part of this. This is literally, we have to get someone in here who can play in the preseason. They don't have the bodies right now. Even if you sign Stephon Gilmore, he's not going to play in the preseason. Bruce Harmon's hurt, Robert Rochelle's hurt. All these different corners are super banged up right now. They have to get somebody else in there that can help them survive the remainder of camp and the preseason. Until they do that, the main cornerback need is still there, but this isn't designed to fill that main cornerback need. This is to fill something else altogether. This is to help you get through the remainder of the season. Preseason. Now, I'll say this too. When the Cowboys continue to have issues and complain and say, we like our guys, that's a valid thing to complain about too. But I think in the end, they kind of are two separate topics. They are two separate issues as it relates to the Dallas Cowboys and the issues. I think you're right that they have to get more good players in there, but just letting it ride with those players isn't a valid solution necessarily either. It's just kind of a weird, awkward spot that the Cowboys have managed to put themselves in at this point. It doesn't solidify anything. From No Name, I guess blacked out. I don't know. Maybe YouTube censored it. Who knows? Trade for Jameis Winston. I think if you wanted to go trade for somebody, this is probably the best option. I think he's a fun backup. He makes it entertaining for you. But I don't know what that solution actually ends up looking like in the end for the Cowboys. Like, I think it's just it kind of has problems for Dallas that in the sense that I don't know if they're going to want to go down that path. I don't know if they're going to want to consider adding another player at the spot. They might just say, we believe, and leave it at that, even though I do think backup quarterback is a pretty valid concern for this team right now. So what is your confidence level in the Cowboys backup QBs? 1 to 10 is your scale, so let me know in the comments section of today's show. What is your confidence level in the Dallas Cowboys backup QBs? Again, it's not including Dak Prescott. He goes down, and we've got issues on our hands no matter what, but let me know in the comments section of today's show, what is your confidence level in the Cowboys backup QB room? Speaking of backup QBs, from Steven Goltz, I think that's how it is. If Cleveland releases Shedeur, you think Jerry will sign him if either QB does bad in the last game? I think that you might not get him off waivers. He might get snatched up before that. I don't think the Browns are going to cut Shedeur Sanders, so I think it kind of ends up being a moot point in the end. I'll also say this, by the way. I've seen people say, well, you should have drafted him. Yeah, but you weren't spending a third-round pick on Shedeur Sanders. And he went off the board before your fifth-round pick. So that was also, I think, kind of a bit unfair. From Juan Ramos, should the Cowboys trade for Brian Robinson? Will that improve the running back spot? What will the cost be? We did do a video on this on Monday, Juan. Hopefully you checked it out. I wouldn't be shocked if they pursued that as an option. I would like them to. I think he's an upgrade. The Cowboys always like their guys around August. They just don't always like doing moves. I would like to see them do something like that. I think the cost would be probably a late day 3 pick in the end. We'll have more Dallas Cowboys YouTube videos right here for you on the channel. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Free Cowboys videos each and every single day, multiple times per day here on the channel. Nate says trades for Shedeur Sanders. It's not happening. Draft a QB. Okay, well, that's a future issue. Pickett, Wilson. So Kenny Pickett sucks. I don't want that. Legitimately, I think I'd rather have Will Grier out there. It's not saying anything, but I don't think Kenny Pickett's any good. If that's Russell Wilson, he's not going to get traded by the Giants. So your options at quarterback, folks, they aren't good/realistic, frankly. From Carter, how about a Rachaad White trade? I don't know if he's available in Tampa. I get where you're going. I think that they do like Sean Tucker a little bit. I'm unconvinced that he's truly available. That one might end up being he's available in free agency. I kind of feel like he's just in line to be RB2 for them in the end. But I do like trying to think through those types of options. So will the Cowboys make a trade? Y for yes, N for no. Any trade between now and week 1 of the season. Get those predictions in. Y for yes, N for no. Let me know if you think the Cowboys will end up making a trade. From Jariah Jones, Tom should do shots of Johnny Walker Blue. That's crazy expensive. I'm not doing that. Part of the bid is that we do disgusting things as shots and not actually tasty items. I guess the Happy Dads are pretty good, but still, that's my mindset. Last one here from Daniel M. I hope you're right, though, on the moves we have to make because the Eagles are getting better. We're falling behind the 8 ball. Plashani needs to stop with the vanilla offense. They're not going to be anything but vanilla in the preseason. That's how every NFL team is. So I'm not worried about the fact that they've been vanilla. I'm worried about that they haven't been good when they've been vanilla. That's what concerns me. I don't expect them to run all their fun plays and all the crazy motions and fun stuff he's adding, but you're going to be vanilla. You got to execute, and I don't think they've executed. And both games, they've started bad. That concerns me a little bit because why aren't your preseason guys amped up and ready to go? They don't look ready, and that does concern me, even if it is just the preseason.